children of the night. What music they make.
They're all gonna laugh at you!
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
What's up?
I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna bash you a bit.
Hello, hello. Welcome to Final, guys, and welcome to the movie Black Hole that is November, I almost said. February.
How about 2024?
I'm losing track of time. I'm Jason Brandt, joined as always by Phantasm Jack Campisi.
Hello.
Phantasm Orgasm Hunter Shea.
Hi.
And Shiny Balls Lutsky.
Good evening. Squeak, squeak. Those are shiny balls.
Wow. Your balls have sound effects. That's
When
interesting.
rolled together.
They're shiny yet squeaky.
Squeaky clean.
So after we went back and forth quite a bit this week on what to do as the main feature, because there's just nothing out, we decided to watch Phantasm instead, because why not have a discussion about a movie that makes absolutely zero sense on a show that makes zero sense?
I think it's perfect. Perfect pairing.
Makes
Yeah.
sense to me.
Like champagne and doggy style.
I wouldn't be surprised if we do more of these in the next couple of weeks.
I mean, we could talk about Phantasm forever. There's like so many different rabbit holes you could go down.
I'm down.
I'm just talking about doing old favorites because
Oh,
Yeah.
well, I mean, Phantasm 2 is my favorite, so I wouldn't mind doing that one anyway. So before we jump into the news, anyone have any announcements? Anything to throw out there?
No. I'm announcement free this week.
Chad, do you have 6 books out this week?
Nope. No, just
do you have
two.
any new episodes of So Bad It's Chad?
Not cool, man. I'm doing my own thing. Yeah, there are.
By the way, that creepy couch in the chat right now, is that your creepy couch or Harvey Weinstein's?
Yeah, I was
creepy couch?
accidentally logged into the other account.
All right.
Man, you're off to a banger of a start.
Harvey
All right.
It's creepy couch.
You could maybe you could click. Everybody can click on that and follow me. I'm about 700. Or not follow, subscribe. I'm about 700 subscriptions away
You're
from
700 already?
No, I'm about
Jeez.
700 away.
Oh, I was like,
I'm
how
at-
the hell?
I'm at like 303.
Okay.
I've got a creepy couch with about 700 victims.
And billions of dead babies.
So please go subscribe.
If you text me, I will give you Chad's address so you can just follow him anywhere you want.
No, don't do that.
I wanted to say my live stream went well. I've got beautiful copies of movies like Iron Eagle 3 on VHS
There's a
to
third.
watch. It was I got some interesting shit, so thank you everyone who joined. And I will throw this out probably every week until it actually happens. At least 2 of us here are going to be at AuthorCon in Williamsburg on April 12th. So if you want to have a beer with us, go to AuthorCon. We don't even have a table. We'll just be walking around and hanging at the bar. So come say hi.
And I promise I won't make you wear a Bigfoot costume this time. You can just go as yourself and not, hallucinate from the heat.
That would be amazing. I think it's kind of funny now that I have no recollection of talking to Laurel Hightower at her table. Like zero.
Well, having worn that costume several times, I understand it's really hot.
It's pretty funny. All right. Before we jump into the news, I should say, who wants to read the drinking words?
Oh, me. I saw these words and I got excited. All right. As you all know, these are the words from Sheridan Bradford. If we say them, you drink them. So Jack's words tonight are funeral, drill, and alive. Mine, I might make some product out of this. A finger grave cream. It's better when you say it like that. Jason's are plot, kills, and barracuda. Chad's is disjointed pacing and bodies. And all of us, if we say tall, Angus, or ball, you must drink.
Beautiful. Thanks,
Wow,
Sheridan.
boy, isn't a drinking
Go ahead,
word.
Jack.
Yeah, that's true.
I just
All right.
realized it's actually my wife in the chat. She's spamming chat.
All right. Well, thank God it's her and not Weinstein.
So your wife is commenting in the chat and you somehow thought it was you?
Well, because I said let's talk horror like I always do at 8 o'clock, and then I see she's in here.
Oh, you're both logged in on the same account.
Yeah.
Your account.
Okay, let's do the news. It's the news. Yay!
Our top story is rampant password sharing closes down YouTube.
Dude, I'm married.
A
It's
big
married
story
people do.
tonight.
Top story tonight. So you guys are probably friends with Paul Tremblay. Maybe throw him under the bus once in a while.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, we've done that on here a lot.
He is Iron Man. Why? His book, Head Full of Ghosts, is being adapted into a movie by Robert Downey Jr.'s production company.
Oh, that's cool. I thought I saw that and kind of came and went in my brain.
It's going to be directed by the people who did the original Goodnight Mommy and The Lodge.
All right. The original
good
Good Night
stuff.
Mommy.
The original.
Yeah, not the remake.
Yeah.
Which
I-
book?
Head Full of Ghosts.
Oh,
Is that a good book?
okay. Yes.
Now I'm
That's what
wondering-
put him on the map. Stephen King gave that book a shout out. And he just hit the stratosphere.
Yeah, it
Mhm.
wasn't bad. I now I'm wondering if I saw the original Goodnight Mommy or not.
Oh, it's so good.
Oh,
The German one?
yeah.
Yeah.
haven't
Yeah,
seen
I feel like I did, but except for I think it was I swear I thought it was in English, but maybe not.
There was a
it
remake
didn't-
with Naomi Watts.
No, I didn't see that. No.
Jason, you got to keep your head centered in your.
I try to. I
Numbra.
try to look at it throughout the stream.
Saint
It makes your
Jason.
head it makes your head look way more slee stacky with your haircut.
Lee
If you
Stacky?
keep it centered.
Slee
Slee
stack.
stacky, yeah.
from Land of
You've
the
got the
Lost.
slee stack head with the
You-
point.
He doesn't know Land of the Lost.
You don't know what a slee stack is?
No, I don't.
Oh wow.
All right.
Yeah.
What was the main guy?
guys are
Egon? Was that his
old.
name?
Will Ferrell did a Land of the Lost.
The red one? I don't remember.
They were like
What?
lizard people that just played with like colored rocks on a chessboard. And
What was
opened
your
up time
question,
portals.
Hunter?
Wasn't his name Egon?
Enoch.
Enoch.
Enoch,
That's
yes.
it.
Chuck
Christ.
him alike.
I'm watching Phantasm right now, trying to understand this conversation.
Oh, Robert
Jawas,
Downey Jr.
Please.
Robert Downey Jr.'s production name. You guys jealous?
No.
Your books aren't being made by Iron Man.
Sure. That'd be nice.
I'm waiting.
He
for Chris
deserves it, man.
Evans.
He is such a good writer. Like he's killing it. I mean, he just had the one last year, Cabin in no. What was it
Knock
called?
at the Cabin.
No, Knock at the Cabin.
Yeah,
Door.
Knock at the
Knock
Cabin? Yeah,
Mhm.
that was good. He's good for him, man. I think he's going to be at AuthorCon actually, isn't he? Didn't we read his name?
I
Seems
think
like
so.
a cool guy.
Yeah, he's still a teacher. I'd be like, see ya.
Really? He's
So
Learn math on your own.
Jason, you're actually counting on Hunter showing up at this thing, right?
Yes.
Okay, good luck with that.
I already
know.
put in the time off, and I have a room. Where are you at this?
I'm not going to that bullshit.
Wow.
Felissa Rose isn't going to be there.
Yeah, you can't have a fake date with Felissa Rose.
Anybody a fan of Deep Blue Sea? I am.
Yeah.
It's okay.
It's fine, but I was a fan of when Felissa told you she'd come on the podcast and then ghost you afterwards.
Hurts so good.
You can at
Rennie
least be
Harlan.
adamant.
Of Deep Blue Sea fame.
Mhm.
Mhm.
For all the crap that you give Deep Blue Sea, it's really like the next good shark movie after Jaws. Like, it's the most rewatchable thing. It's a lot of fun.
I put the Shallows above it. If you're a dude, it's like a really horny
Yeah.
guy.
Okay. Yeah. I see your.
Deep Blue Sea is a more fun movie. Shallows is crap at the end. Anyway, Rennie Harlan has completed shooting another shark movie, and it's got Aaron Eckhart and Ben Kingsley in it. It's called Deep Water.
Ben Kingsley, isn't he like 90?
I don't know, man. The guy who was the
Gandhi is battling sharks.
Gandhi versus sharks and
Anything's
Two-Face.
possible.
Isn't there already a shark movie called Deep Water?
Yes, based on that true story.
Yeah. That's what I
Yeah.
thought.
They can steal it. When's this coming out?
They don't say, but they've completed shooting it.
All right. We can
Oh.
assume nothing of worth is coming out this year. So every bit of movie news is for next year.
Is it like in March that ballerina vampire movie is coming out? I'm psyched for that.
Oh, and Maxine should be out this year.
Yeah.
All right.
Last piece of news is this. There's a new Dracula adaptation coming by let's see, what's his name? Luke Benson, who did Get Out. No, not Get Out. Sorry,
Get in.
They do The Fifth Element.
Fifth Element. Leon the Professional, Lucy with Scarlett Johansson. So he's got a pretty good little track record there. The Christoph Waltz is in it, but he's not playing Dracula. Christoph Waltz is awesome. If he's like Van Helsing or something, that would be tremendous. The most interesting thing about this is the person playing Dracula is Caleb Landry Jones, who is the brother in Get Out, and he's the kid from the last Exorcism, and he played Banshee in X-Men First Class, that like weird dude.
Yeah. Huh.
He's going to be Dracula. I was like, wow, what
fresh take are they going to give on Dracula that hasn't been done in the 700 prior adaptations?
They say it's going to focus on the beginning of Dracula's life and his relationship with his wife.
Oh, a prequel. Jason's out. Done.
Why not just make a vampire movie? Like, does Dracula have that much of a draw at the theater anymore? I mean, honestly.
No.
Like, who gives a shit? I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. Just make another vampire.
I bet you putting the word Dracula on it gets it from being just straight to streaming to possible theater.
Maybe it's an overseas thing. Maybe Dracula movies do really well in Europe or something. I don't know.
A lot of moviegoers in Transylvania.
I cannot wait to at least see a trailer of this and see what they could. That guy is such a creepy dude. Like he was in Last Exorcism, that's the first place I think I became aware of him. He was weird in that. Then in Get Out, you want to kill him in that movie.
The cast was really good. Just a prequel to Dracula. Was Dracula married?
A billion Dracula movies. They're calling it a prequel. It's just another Dracula movie. I'm sure it's going to be, scars of Dracula and stuff. Those are all, it's
if
just a character in some other story.
We're in.
What?
If A24 is putting it out, we're in.
Oh, yeah.
No idea who's putting it out. But that's all I'm putting out. So let's go to the main feature, whatever that would. Let's go talk about what we watched.
Thank you, Jack.
We have such sights to show you.
Lutsky, what did you manage to find on Tubi this week?
I found a wonderful nugget of gold.
Okay.
From 2020 called Alpine Lake. This is one of those that needs prefacing.
It sounds found footagey.
If you're involved in the making of this film and you're curious what my snobby thoughts are, maybe tune out right now. You won't want to hear them.
Eject!
You called it like a nugget of gold, and now?
Yeah, but just bear with me. Alpine Lake has a score of 2.4 on IMDb, which I'm not buying. After looking at the total ratings on there, I noticed that 7 of the 102 votes are 10 stars. So I think it's safe to say that those are either cast members or friends. I did read one review that gave it 10 out of 10, and they were being facetious. They thought it was they were just being funny. So, but I certainly can't blame them for hopping on there and making accounts and trying to keep it above 1.
Damn, this poster looks like some of my first book covers.
Yeah, dude.
Wow.
The poster that they finally went with, not that one, with the tagline "It's lunchtime," which is the last line in the movie and makes 0 sense to the rest of the movie. Yeah, but the best thing about the movie is that poster right there. One of the IMDb reviews says, "This is what happens when a guy with a desire to make a movie but zero talent gets a stimulus check." And,
Damn.
God.
That
That's
was
pretty-
brutal.
That's pretty spot on. A group of 5 people head out to a cabin for the weekend to get away from their difficult dorm life. Blah blah blah. There's a killer in the woods.
New take. I've never heard
yeah.
this plot
There are
before.
3 girls and 2 guys. The girls are gorgeous, all of them. The guys look like they're missing that week's Magic the Gathering convention. So right off the bat, I'm not buying it at all. Those guys with these chicks. One of these guys is the single most douchiest character you'll ever see on film. He's lazy, entitled, treats his hot girlfriend like she's lucky to have him. And at the end, it seemed like maybe the filmmaker was trying to turn him around and get some redemption going, but he was too far gone. There's just no way. You cannot wait to see this guy get killed. The shots are some of the worst I've ever seen. Long,
Jesus.
wide shots with the entire cast doing some 2-minute scene that looks like they're putting on a play. There are points where it feels like I'm sitting in a classroom legitimately watching students do a skit for a film school project. The writing and acting complement each other hilariously. And I'd love to describe some of the scenes, but you have to kind of see them for yourself to really appreciate the hilarity. Like a guy who's trying to get this party started once they get there. So he takes off his shirt and starts dancing with a girl while no music plays. And then they abruptly stop very awkwardly and he puts his shirt back on. It's like, and scene.
Oof.
Very weird. The kills are mostly off screen or covered in the shadows created by horrendous lighting. And you definitely need the subtitles on for sure, because the single mic being used is most likely buried in someone's shoe on the other side of this cabin or outside somewhere.
Jesus.
Jason, this is for you. 100%.
This isn't painful? This sounds painful.
Yeah.
No, dude. This is a blast.
Oh,
This is
all right.
for your channel. You guys will love this.
Surprised Toten hasn't sent it to me already.
Definitely add
He's
Alpine
on it
Lake
right
to
now.
your list.
All right.
I'm surprised you don't have it yet. This is, I was
I might. I don't know.
kind of blown away. There's a lot to laugh at here. It's very incompetent. And
You were blown away by incompetency. That's
sorry,
pretty
filmmakers.
amazing.
Sorry, actors. Like I said, the girls are very pretty, but that's about it. The rest of it's just hilarious.
we're getting.
It's
involved.
weird. If you don't have the equipment to make a movie, that's usually when you do found footage, because then the microphones and the
Yeah.
lights and stuff don't matter as much. If you don't have the equipment to make a movie, you probably shouldn't do a traditional style film.
Yet this thing made it onto Tubi somehow.
Can you upload your own shit to Tubi? I bet you can.
Yeah, I'm wondering that. I'm wondering.
Isn't Bad Ben on Tubi now? I feel like it is.
He has like his own channel now. Or something.
Yeah, he goes back and forth. I don't know where those movies.
I can never find his movies when I want to watch them.
I saw him doing something on Twitter the other day, and I clicked on it, and I went to like the Bad Ben channel or something like that. He's got like a Roku channel or something. I think that's back up. You have to subscribe to it.
Yeah, you got to pay for it.
Because I was subscribed to his Roku channel, and then he took everything down,
Right.
Yeah.
and now it's back. Jesus.
Yeah, because I had to figure out how to delete a channel from Roku because of that.
Well, at least it taught you something.
Man.
I've still
Okay.
only seen the first one. Do they get boring? I mean, does it just get old?
No. No.
Really?
Let's not go down the Bad Ben rabbit hole.
Yeah.
I
Let's
know
get Tim on.
Jason's got a giant stiffy for that guy in his movies,
Oh.
but
He's the best. He hates us, but he's the best.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't understand. We were like his biggest supporters early on.
For real. I feel like we were the first people talking about that movie. We were like, he just probably didn't like the reason we were recommending it.
You know,
Maybe.
he's the reason I wear slides and a white T-shirt all around my house. Just
I
screaming.
started saying "God damn it" because of him. So
When people
Oh,
say to
yeah.
me, what celebrity would play you in the movie about your life? I reference him.
Nigel Bach. Perfect. Okay. Hunter, what do you got?
All right. So I went to Shada, and they have this documentary on Dario Argento called Panico.
ooh, I've been wanting to
Panico.
see that.
Because, like I've said many times, I'm not a fan of Italian horror, although I'm starting to appreciate it a little more as I get older for just what it is and what they were trying to do. I think growing up, I was just looking for a story that made sense. Now I'm
Yeah.
like, whatever. I
Yeah.
understand this is like it's like an easel. You're painting in moving pictures. So this is kind of like a story of his life. He's in it quite often. He's unrecognizable. He's in his early 80s, I believe now. And when you first see him, because he has a very distinctive look, it's gone. We all turn into old men who all look the same. We all look like potatoes eventually.
Does
so-
Asia have all of her clothes off when they're interviewing her for the
She
documentary?
does. She has her clothes on, but she does address the question we always ask is like, what is it like to, do sex things in front of your dad in a movie? So
Mhm.
they did not bury that. But it talks a little bit about his growing up. His sister is in it. A couple of ex-wives are in it. It's pretty fascinating. And the good thing is that when they do something like that, Shudder's going to pull movies onto their programming for you. So The Bird with Crystal Plumage is now on, which is one I've always wanted to see. Let's say it's a very good documentary. There are some spots I wish they, dug in a little bit more because they went all the way from his Giallo days to he's shooting like a movie a year, I think.
Yeah, I Dark Glasses. I talked about it on here.
Yeah,
after watching it. Yeah.
Look, that Dracula AD floored me. By the way, that's an SBIG movie if ever there was one.
Which one?
Dracula. Was it Dracula AD?
Dario
right?
Argento's Dracula.
I've never seen that. I think I have it actually.
Didn't we
Yeah,
do
I've
that
got
for
it.
the show?
No.
You know what, Jack? I know we watched it. We talked about it. It's stunning. Stunning.
I have it on. I have it on Blu-ray.
Give that one a watch.
Rutger Hauer's in that movie.
It's so weird. But anyway, it also, as I was watching movies like that, the documentaries, I just watch with a pad of paper, and pen, and going, "Oh, I want to watch that." So
I've seen that up there, and I kept waiting for one of you guys. So it's like, who's gonna see it first?
yeah, it was really good, and it's mostly everyone speaking Italian except for Del Toro. He's speaking English. So if you don't want to read, if you're not in the mood to read, this isn't the one. Just wait till you're ready to read. It's scary that we have to say this in this day and age, but yeah, Panico on Shudder.
Did they talk
Really
about
good.
the Mother of Tears in that one? Because that
I-
movie is on the tail end of his.
Yeah, I don't believe they talk about that one. They don't go too much into
The newer
what
stuff.
he's doing now. It's mostly and him. It's shot with him being interviewed because he goes to hotels to write. So they bring him to this hotel in the countryside or wherever. And he doesn't like the hotel at first. He's like, "That's a popular place. I don't want to be here." But he settles down. That's where he writes his movies in hotels. So learn
That's
something
what you
new.
do sometimes.
I finish things off like, when I'm at a hotel for a day or two. But like he goes from like, I'm going to start it here and I'm going to end it here. I don't think my wife would allow that.
All right.
Yeah.
Jack.
I watched another one of those Paul Naschy werewolf movies, The Night of the Werewolf from 1981. The reason I watched this one is because it's really a vampire werewolf movie.
Oh, the combo.
It's almost like a remake of the one I watched last week. Because it's a werewolf versus a resurrected woman vampire. But in this one, it starts off Elizabeth Bathory is executed along with Paul Naschy, who's like a werewolf that I guess was enslaved by her and some of her other minions. And then in the 80s, this witch who kind of like worships her resurrects her and the werewolf guy, but he's not bound to her anymore.
No,
So
I
then
see why
she's-
Jack is watching these. by
I
the
see
way.
why you picked this. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
As a Hammer
definitely-
fan, you know what you want.
dude, the vampire stuff in this movie is awesome. And again, these movies are so much fun because they get to the fun. There's less talking parts and more monster parts in these movies. And
Nice.
they're dubbed, and I'm telling you, like, you're not going to find a werewolf movie because he's like Wolfman, like he's got arms and legs and like the
Walks
Wolfman
upright.
makeup. So like he like bursts through this like stained glass window that's kind of made out of like paper mache or something like that. I tell you, I love this movie. I had such a good time. So this is once again bleed on the face of the corpse and it resurrects the vampire. I think they pulled the cross out of him this time in order to resurrect him, which is what they did to the vampire last time. Wow. I'm gonna watch more of these Spanish horror movies. They're so much fun. So, as a person who enjoys like 70s and 80s and vampire movies and 60s, this is like a gift. I was like, oh, this is so much fun.
Man, this has everything in it.
I'm
Jeez.
telling you, everything is in this movie.
I'm gonna have to like take
Those
a weekend
two?
off to binge these.
Hunter, I'm telling you, when I come down to your place, we gotta watch one of these.
Oh hell,
There's got to be a Bigfoot one or something.
We'll find it.
These look amazing.
So, Night of the Werewolf. It's on.
I'm gonna very quickly talk about mine. I watched a movie you guys have recommended now called Significant Other.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, why are we waffling around trying to decide what to do as a main feature when this movie is out there? More people need to know about this.
I believe last year I suggested it and I was turned down.
It's on Paramount Plus, so it's tough to track down. I think. Can you rent it?
I think it was on Paramount Plus. Yeah, I think.
So I didn't have Paramount Plus until I did a Lutsky and got access to somebody's account.
There you go. We'll
I've
do
never
that.
done that. I've never done that.
You're doing it tonight with YouTube.
Dude, my wife is in the next room. What are you
So you're
talking
doing
about?
it right now as we speak, and
It's
claiming
free.
you're
Who
not
the hell
doing it.
cares?
We do the
Somebody's
channel
still doing
together.
it.
Jack, be quiet.
You're such a thief, pirate.
Oh.
Garr. I'm
I
gonna
hate it
call
when
you.
both my dads argue.
You're so
Seriously,
sensitive.
this would be a good one for next week. Like, this movie is. I don't even want to talk about it until we do it as a main feature because there's
Yeah,
so many
I don't wanna hear
twists.
Fine with me.
I
Yeah,
don't
I'd
want to
love
give
to give you a
away.
chance to rewatch it.
The writing is so good, and the way it's shot, just I was blown away by this. Like when things start to pick up, I was like, wait, what's going on? It's like, okay, hold on, I need to like fully focus on this movie. And then I was like, damn, man, this is really good. If I had seen this, I came out in 2022 apparently. This definitely would have made my list that year for sure. Really dug it.
Off because I felt it was more sci-fi.
Yeah, whatever.
I know. I made a call.
This movie's really good.
No, it's
There's
not.
basically two actors the whole movie, and it's true. So
By the
Significant
way-
Other.
Let's do it, man. I haven't seen it yet, and I told my wife that I wanted to watch it with her, and based on what
My
I think it
wife.
was Jack was the last person to talk about it, and I was just sold, man. I want to see it.
All right,
Let's acknowledge
do
the
it.
fact that Whiskey Jack is his maiden appearance tonight.
Dude, I noticed that.
Yeah.
I noticed that.
It's not the whiskey. It's your thin skins.
Yeah.
Dude,
you say that every
Say it
time.
every
We're like,
time.
oh, Whiskey Jack says, like, it's not the whiskey. Fuck you. Chad, what else you got?
Okay, I don't know where this is streaming. I think on some premium channels, but I have it on DVD. I bought recently, and I might be the only one here who hasn't seen Orphan before.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because I didn't realize this is from 2009. This is older. But the wife and I recently watched it for our YouTube channel, Creepy Couch.
I
It
saw
was our
the
first.
episode.
Is it what was that?
I saw the episode and I gave it a like.
Me
Well, I
too.
appreciate that. It was our first time seeing it. I kind of knew the twist going in just from because it's been so long, but she didn't have a clue and called it really early, which was weird. A
Wow.
couple who recently lost their daughter to a miscarriage decide to adopt, and they end up getting a Russian girl who keeps ribbons tied around her neck and wrists 24/7 and seems to be a prodigy. Definitely mature and wiser than her years. Movie starts out as your typical like bad seed movie where the kid is rotten to the core, starts hurting people or even killing them, while the parents slowly realize they've got a monster on their hands. I really enjoyed it. Vera Farmiga is fantastic in this. She cries a lot, screams in pain, and just screams and cries. Something about her. I
Yes.
told my wife something about when she does that just guts me. She's like the Meg Ryan of the in the. She reminds me of Meg Ryan, how Meg Ryan was in the 80s. Absolutely gorgeous, but not in a sexy way, more of a really super cute way.
Oh,
That's
she's
how
sexy.
I view her. But the girl who plays the Russian orphan is great.
Hunter, could you say that a little more creepily?
She is sexy AF.
Sexy, baby.
It's great coming from you since you've been in her house.
Yeah.
I know where she lives. That's the scary thing.
The chick is really evil, brutal. I don't want to spoil it for people who haven't seen it because I think it's worth a watch. But I am looking forward to the sequel or prequel or whatever it is that came out recently.
That's a fun
And
movie.
Want to spoil it? We could.
If you if you do want to see the reaction thing, then you can find it on the Creepy Couch channel. But yeah, that's I enjoyed it. Orphan.
It's a good movie.
It is.
That's a real good movie. All right, Hunter.
All right. I was in an Italian mode, and my wife said, "Are you going to watch one of those giallos?" I'm like, "Yep." And she just walked right out of the room. I was like, "Perfect." Got the living room to myself. I lit a fire, and I watched on Shudder because there's a ton of giallo movies on there right now. What is it? The Sister of Ursula. The image is just like garish, like painting. I'm like, I never heard of this. You will see more full frontal nudity in this movie than anything ever on Skinemax, than most things on Pornhub.
Sister Ursula. Okay.
I was amazed by how many vaginas I saw. There's no gynecologist that sees this many in a day than I saw in an hour and a half here.
Wow.
What's the over under? 16?
If you see a female character pop up, she will be nude at one point. Just, if don't wonder, oh my God, I hope she takes her clothes off. Don't worry, they all do. But for a little bit of equal opportunity, there is a dude and they show his schween.
We just got canceled.
Okay.
So, you see a little bit of schween, but he's got a thatch of hair, just like the women. He looks like he has a young Ron Jeremy in a leg lock. Like you can barely make out what he has. He could have 7 inches, but it's hidden.
I'm going to drink for the word thatch.
So this movie involves these two very pretty sisters who go to this Italian resort. And one sister, the younger one, is kind of nuts. Their father passed away, and she has the gift of sight. And she's freaked out by everything, and she says, you want me to go out with this guy and talk to him? He's going to kill me. It's like, she's so annoying. But there's a great scene where she passes out and the doctor comes and visits, and he pulls the sister aside. He goes, this happens often, when women have been in moments of stress, great stress, that they are given the gift of sight. Oh, paranormal abilities. I'm like, what? It's not a paranormal movie, by the way.
All right.
But in this place, there's a lounge singer who's involved in this. There's a kind of creepy hotelier, some weird dude who's like kind of a heroin addict. It's like all these weird, unsavory characters, and people just start dying naturally. There's a pair of black gloves, and they do the killing, and you're just waiting in this kind of thing for the twist. That's it's always fun. What's the twist? This movie's a freaking blast. However, as my children would come down the stairs, now they're grown women, but do I need them to see the scene where the girl is making love to herself with a gold chain? Or another scene where a guy is just spending a lot of time on a pair of breasts? I don't know. I don't think so. So I had moments of thrilling moments and then moments of shame.
Was it on Tubi or Amazon?
It's on Shudder.
Oh, Shudder.
Think about what this means, that you had shame watching this movie.
Oh, it's such shame. And at one point, my wife just hears nothing but like moaning and deep breathing. She pops her. What the hell are you watching? What's on TV right now? Like, it's an Italian movie. I don't know. These are your people. This is the kind of stuff
it's
you
my
think is all right.
homework. It's my homework. I'm doing work.
I'm like, honey, you're Sicilian. You guys, you're animals. You're all animals. But I highly, it didn't have that big a rating. It's really kind of cool.
Wow. Okay. Top that, Jack.
Full frontal.
I went back and watched a movie I'd only seen once, the remake of Last House on the Left from 2009.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I saw that probably 2010 or whatever. Like, it came out, and then whenever it got to cable, I watched it. I may have seen like part of it on, more recently. Like, I think I saw the end, but I never really sat down and watched it again. But I DVR'd it a long time ago, and it's just been sitting in my queue. So it's like,
Right.
I need to take care of this. And I'm really glad I did, because I realized I always was cognizant of some of the people who were in it, but I hadn't really thought about it. And when I saw this movie, I didn't really know most of the people who were in it. So it's got Sarah Paxton, who I love, and Garrett Dillahunt, who I always was cognizant as being the main villain, and he's awesome in everything he's in. Monica Potter, you would recognize her, but Aaron Paul from Breaking Bad is like the sidekick in the bad guys. Ricky Lindholm is like the main villain female, and she, who is like the most adorable, lovable comedian, is like like hell on wheels in this movie. And is like attacking people with no shirt on. It's at one point. You're just like, wow, this is a lot different from Garfunkel and Arts and Oates that she does now. Spencer Treat Clark, who was like, you've seen him in stuff. He was in, the last part of the Unbreakable trilogy. He was the Bruce Willis's son in that movie.
Glass.
Glass, yeah. He's been in other stuff. You'd recognize him. So I was watching it going, oh, wow. So like, I didn't know who Aaron Paul was when I watched this movie the first time.
Nobody did.
And it's a decent remake. It's like when people talk about like what are good remakes, this is one of them. But it's funny because it's so cartoony. Like the villain, like it's a fun, well-paced movie, but the bad guys are just so cartoony. Like when they talk, they're so evil, but what they do is so horrible. Like I was giggling.
I'm thinking it's almost more serious than the original, because the original, whenever they center on the bad guys, there's like banjo music playing, and it's just kind of dopey.
I feel like the original, you think you're watching like a hidden camera, and they're
it's icky.
It's icky, it's grainy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And because these are like famous people now, you're a little bit more aware of like how hard they're acting bad.
Right.
But it's still a brutal movie.
Yeah.
Sarah Paxton and her friend, who is like, I think she's like in Superbad. The two girls who get abducted or kidnapped at the beginning and roughed up, to put it lightly.
Yeah.
I mean, those actresses had to go through a lot of.
No, I remember. It's a good remake. And in my family, I am the way I am because of this. The original Last House on the Left was standard family viewing. My dad, my mother loved it.
Oh my God.
You could walk into them any given time, they've got that friggin' movie on.
That explains a lot.
Yeah, that's just, look, there's no mystery to me.
I don't like the original, man. It's too gross.
It is gross.
Yeah, I've only seen it like twice, and
it feels like a Rob Zombie movie before Rob Zombie started making movies. Like I could see him totally remaking this and having it even grittier.
It's so mean.
Just throw in 700 F words and put in his wife.
So you like this better than the original?
I don't like it better, but it's I don't know the right way to say it. It's more palatable because the other one's so grimy and icky. But that's the beauty of that one. That's like Wes Craven at his sharpest edge. Last House on the Left and like I Spit on Your Grave, the original, like those are two like uber hardcore
Mhm.
This for a remake, it's still brutal, but it's more
Polished.
horror movie, yeah, polished,
Very much polished.
Mainstream.
and approachable. Like
It doesn't
it's
feel like a snuff movie.
yeah.
It's the
Have you
original
That's
guys-
what
does.
the first one feels like.
Have you guys? I was just going to ask you, Jack, or anybody. Have you guys seen any of the other "I Spit in Your Graves," like the remake or the sequels or anything like that?
I
saw
saw
them
the
all.
remake, which was actually pretty good.
Really?
There were three. There's a remake and a couple of sequels after that, and they're all pretty good.
I've only seen "Spit in Your Grave" once. I think I was like 13 or something. I watched it with a friend of mine with his who was like 11, and his mom was in the room the whole time with us watching it, and it was very awkward. I was like, how many times and how long is this going to go on? It was very, very awkward.
Good crowd.
Yeah. So
But
I would
yeah.
say if you haven't seen this in a while or haven't seen it, it's worth it because like everybody looks at like Zack Snyder's Dawn of the Dead as like such a great remake. This is one. Don't sleep on this one. This is
I agree.
I never honestly even considered watching it because, like I said, I don't like the first. So I was like, I don't need to see.
it also has kind of a goofy ending, but it's a lot of fun.
Just
but
it's not. It's a way different experience than the original. You'll get through this one.
Yeah.
You know, I will say, as much as I love that we're getting like 4K HDR releases of these old movies and you can see them in their glory, there was something to getting a worn VHS from the store and watching a movie like Last House on the Left, and you're like, what in God's name is this? Like,
Yeah.
it looked like a crazy person made it.
Yep.
Same thing
Yeah, I
with
witnessed
Phantasm.
Yeah, exactly.
Evil
Yeah,
Dead,
that's how I saw
Chainsaw
it.
Massacre. Yeah.
Yeah, there was something to it. All right, Chad, I've only played this a little bit, but I took your recommendation and got Lethal Company
Yeah.
and played it late Saturday night, and you were correct. This game is a blast to play with friends. You will absolutely shit in your pants the first time you play this game.
Yeah.
Wear a diaper.
I was playing with my buddy, drinking beers, and we're talking, and then he just stops talking. And I'm like, what happened?
Yeah.
He's dead. I have no idea what happened where, and I don't know how the hell to get back to the ship. And then 2 more people joined, so there's 4 of us. Hilarity ensues when you run into a monster that kills you, and everyone is just freaking out and fleeing, and you can't get far away from each other because then you can't hear each other, and it's a lot of fun. I'll be curious how much replayability there's going to be with that kind of intensity, but I got it for like $6 or $7 on sale on Steam. Totally worth it to play with friends.
For sure.
It's a blast.
That's weird. I was going to actually text you just this last weekend and ask because I knew you had bought it, and I was going to ask if you wanted to play it because I still haven't. My kids don't play it anymore, so I don't have anybody to play with.
Well, be glad you could play with us Saturday night. We were all drinking way too much and screaming incessantly. So
well, that's the way to play it. I mean, screaming and laughing. It's a hilarious game.
It really is. It's a lot of fun. Made by one dude, which is very impressive. So, all right. Anyone have anything else? All right. Let's jump into the main feature.
You like scary movies?
Uh-huh.
What's your favorite scary movie?
I don't know.
You have to have a favorite. What comes to mind?
You know what? I love this movie. So I am going to give a very quick synopsis because this movie is very hard to describe. A teenage boy starts seeing weird things around his town, focused primarily at a mortuary where he runs into Ewoks, a tall man who's very strong. Jawas, sorry. Ewoks, God. And flying spheres that drill into people's heads. The movie takes its name very seriously. The whole thing is a fever dream. You have absolutely no clue what is real, what is not. And this was made by a first-time director, Don Coscarelli. I think he made it for like $300,000 or something that he got from his dad when he was young. I don't even know if he was drinking age when he made this. And it's quite an achievement for somebody who'd never done anything like this before. But I love this movie. I love this entire freaking series. It is one of the weirdest long-running movie series ever made. It might be the longest-running movie series ever made, actually.
Yeah.
Scream's
So,
got to have a beat.
I mean, when the first Phantasm came out, 79?
Yeah.
Oh, you
I mean,
mean
it's
time-wise?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the last one came out like 2015 or something, or 2018. So, who wants to go first?
I'll go. So I am on the opposition side because when I first saw this movie, I'm like, what the hell? This is the stupidest thing I ever saw. And that was always my take on it. Now, little family thing, my wife one day when we were dating said, oh, I like Phantasm. I know now, just trying to impress me. She did not like it. And for years, I kept buying her VHSs and DVDs and Blu-rays of Phantasm. And she in turn would keep buying me copies of Christine, which I don't like that movie. So I told her, I said, this week's movie is Phantasm. She goes, nah, I'm not going to watch that. I said, well, I'm going to give it another shot. Because saw the whole thing in the 80s. I've seen parts here and there since then, but I haven't sat to watch it from beginning to end. I really love the shit out of this movie.
Really? Interesting.
Yeah,
turnaround.
man. I think we might have to do. I bought Coscarelli's book, True Indie,
Great book.
a couple years ago. This is an excellent book, and it really, mostly what he makes is Phantasm movies. So if you're like Phantasm, this tells you everything that he did and all the kind of guerrilla filmmaking that he had to go through to make it. I think that gave me some more appreciation, but there is something about the look of it, the feel of it, the sound, the soundtrack. It's kind of nostalgic. It feels nostalgic to me, even though it didn't hit me way back then. But it's like a lot of the movies that I liked back then. And I just leaned totally into the madness. I'm like, I know this movie doesn't make any sense. So just have fun watching Jawas and flying balls and tall men who can carry coffins. I really enjoyed it so much so that I put all the others on my watch list, which most are on Tubi, but 2 I think you have to go to Amazon for.
Yeah, I think Universal owns the second one. So anytime you want to watch them all, you have to find the second one in some other place. It's annoying as hell.
Yeah. So I'm going to go down the Phantasm rabbit hole for sure.
It's a good rabbit hole, man.
You're never too old to reappreciate a movie. And this is definitely the case for me.
I remembered you saying you hated this. I'm surprised you turned around watching it this time.
I am too. I was, and my wife, when I was done, she's like, oh, you made it through. I'm like, I loved it. I can't believe it, but I loved it.
All right. Chat.
Oh, this is one of my favorite movies, man. This is a super comfort movie for me, man. I love everything about it. I love that you can't make sense of it. You guys failed to mention not only the balls and the Jawas and the tall man and the weird other universe that's just all red, but also the disembodied fingers that turn into giant flies.
And Reggie's head.
Reggie's head.
Reggie's head.
The little wonderful jam session. Reggie, probably the sexiest guy with a skullet you'll ever see. The sweet car, the kid who drinks and is a mechanic. He's like 12.
Yeah, he's a baller.
Opens doors with shotgun shells.
Yeah, I freaking love this movie, man. I love this movie so much.
It's a kitchen sink movie for sure.
There's and it makes sense. I heard Joe Lansdale talk about when he was approached by Coscarelli to do Bubba Hotep. And before that, Joe had always knew this is a story of mine you can't ever turn into a movie. It's just not going to happen. And Coscarelli was like, hold my beer. And he made a great movie out of it.
He did.
So it makes sense. And if you've got a weird, I don't know, story, and Coscarelli, I guess, didn't he do John Dies at the End too?
Mm-hmm. Yes, he did.
Which is another, like, what the heck is going on here? And I know that I think Coscarelli's wife did a novelization of Phantasm, but I think there was only like 500 copies made, and this was like really, really long time ago.
Can you imagine trying to write this?
I'm telling you, it's a bucket list thing. If for some weird reason Coscarelli's watching this, I have been asking for years, not him directly, but I need to write this. If not the novelization, I want to write a Phantasm book in this world using Reggie and the tall man and the Jawas and the balls and everything. It's just there's so much you can do here. The movies do decline a little bit for me. I do like part 2. I have all of them, but I haven't seen the last one just because it's like something that I've been savoring because I love them so much, even the bad ones. But
there are no bad ones. Shut your face.
I love it, man. Reggie's hair. Don't talk trash about Reggie's hair, man. He is the man. And
I love Reggie. Reggie is like, he's not Ash to me, but he's close. I freaking love Reggie in these movies.
Yeah, and there's a thing right now. I don't think they've done it, but I've seen it advertised where they're holding some kind of giveaway where they're having a giveaway for I can't remember if I think it's a book, for a Phantasm book loaded with all kinds of stuff, but they're having like a special thing where you can get tickets and you can go and there's photo ops where you sit in the CUDA with Reggie and have your picture taken. And I think Coscarell is there, a whole bunch of stuff. And like, they really put a lot of cool things into this. Like, and there's another photo op too. But yeah, you get to hang out in that car with Reggie.
Wow.
And get your
It's my favorite car ever, the Hemi Cuda.
That car is awesome.
That's my favorite car ever.
Phantasm.
By the way,
I can't say enough good about it.
The novelization was written by his mom.
Oh, his mom. Okay.
Yeah. I just found a really cool webpage, like going out, like listing all this weird stuff that went on with that novelization.
Very few copies. That would be a rare book to have.
Yeah.
Feels like that would be hard to read. I mean, nothing makes sense. You'd just be like, what's happening?
Oh, man.
It's such a visual movie.
It really is. Jack, what do you think?
This movie has always held a special place in my heart because I remember the day I watched it. And to me, I felt like movies like Phantasm and Evil Dead and a few others, maybe I Spit on Your Grave and stuff. Once you were like seriously getting into horror and separating yourself from casual fans into like, oh, you're a horror guy. Phantasm was one of those, like, you know, you take your basic class and then you're taking advanced horror. This was one of those ones. If you had seen Phantasm, you were kind of in.
Mm-hmm. This is not a normie movie at all.
And I just remember watching it and being like, oh, just laughing with like Jawas and the flying ball and everything, and just loving it and be like, what the hell did I just watch? But I mean, this par for a course, like I think a lot about like the ending of Nightmare on Elm Street, where the mother gets pulled through the door. You know, it's like these movies just ended with like, what the hell was that? It was like you watch a whole movie and then you just expected the last 2 minutes of the movie to be this weird thing that
erases everything.
But you don't even pay attention to it because in the sequel they usually ignore whatever happened in that last 2 minutes anyway.
The last 2 minutes of this will make you think you fell asleep for 20 minutes.
I can't wait though, because there's actually two things that happen in that last 2 minutes, so that you think one thing, but then anyway.
Yeah.
The thing. So I watched this a couple of years ago and talked about it here. I go through. I've only seen this movie a few times, and I enjoy it every time. I've only seen 2 of the Phantasm movies.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I'd only seen the one, so
every time I watch this movie, I was ready for it this time because I just seen it. I just remember watching the movie and like thinking that Reggie was like the secondary character, and then all of a sudden, like halfway through the movie, he becomes like the main character almost.
Yeah.
And there are just like too many priceless moments, like the song.
Yeah.
They together, that just, you know, it's almost like watching Anchorman. It doesn't matter about the whole movie. It's the individual scenes that matter.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of humping and pumping going on in graveyards there. What the hell is wrong with
that? And I remember when I watched this and we were talking about it, the number one thing we all were talking about was how this movie begins with a sex scene in the graveyard.
Mm. So, we'll do it in spoilers. After you ring the bell, I have a question to bring up. You guys can help answer.
So anyway,
I think I know what you're going to ask.
Here's the Phantasm.
Since you guys haven't seen Phantasm 2 even, maybe that should be a main feature. I mean, that movie, that's my favorite of the whole series.
I've seen two.
It's good.
Oh,
Yeah, I haven't.
it's Phantasm with a budget, which is kind of weird to even say, but they like gave him a couple $1 million to make.
And it's got a cool ending.
Let me see
I
where it's
really
available to watch. Give
I
me a
think it's
second.
Amazon.
I have no idea, but
I'll
I
find it.
really love the second one. I hate that it's never tied to the other ones because it was made by a studio, but
Isn't
honestly,
that
who was
the-
the studio executive who was like, "Oh yeah, I saw Phantasm. Let's give that guy millions of dollars to make a nonsensical movie that'll come out in theaters."
Which one was it where they didn't have the whole cast? They used a different guy. Which one was
The
it?
second
Three?
one, the
Oh, the second one?
yeah.
Okay. And then
Yeah,
they end up
it
getting
is.
that guy back for the other
Yeah.
ones.
The studio wouldn't let the kid be the main hero of the second one, so they had to recast him more of like an action hero guy.
Looks like Phantasm 2 is free on Apple TV, and you can rent it for like $4 on.
Prime.
I have it.
platforms.
I have that whole series, so
Yeah, I got it too.
we'll have to talk about that. But do we want to just? I mean, it's an old movie. I mean, who
Yeah, might as
hasn't
well.
seen this?
Hunter, were you going to ask about whether or not the tall man has breasts?
I was going to ask, do we consider the tall man the first transgender evil person in horror history?
No,
Is he trans?
no. He's
No?
Shapeshifter.
He's like he turns into like the succubus thing to lure guys to this particular grave. I think it was the same tombstone, same grave area each time.
They should have gotten Jack Torrance to do some banging with him, and then
But it's weird.
Go.
I saw
that was
this,
really
like,
good, boy.
I saw this like 3 times before I realized that is the tall man. It never occurred to me that this chick in the purple dress.
You mean the end when they show her face and his face and her face and his face?
Or the
Never-
beginning.
Yeah, the beginning of.
Like the first time you see him, it's his
No,
face
he's-
and her face fluctuate.
Yeah, he's like just like an illusion. He doesn't. I don't think that he is transgender. No, I think he just he knows these dudes are horny, so he lures them by having this strange mystical facade with breasts and once they're
I
out
would
there.
will myself to die if in the middle of having a good time, all of a sudden I see Angus Scrim underneath me. I'm like, yeah, you can kill me because I can't function anymore. I'm done.
Oh my god. I love how nonsensical this movie is because they're like they just saw was it the tall man or the hearse crashes and they see the Jawa and they call Reggie and they put the bodies in the ice cream truck and then they're like back at the house talking and then there's just a voiceover of the older brother being like, Mike, you need to go to the antique store. You'll be safe there. And I'm like, what the fuck? What antique store?
That was
who
weird.
owns the antique store? And it's like 2 16-year-olds at the antique store. What?
You'll be in good hands with them. Don't worry.
Just so much shit like that. Like, oh, I'm going to go to see a fortune teller. Like, what?
Who is really mystical?
I watched a video about this today at work, and apparently there's like a 3.5 hour cut of this movie, and he had to cut a lot down, so
What?
a lot got lost. And they think they used some of the unused footage and some.
They
of the other
did.
sequels.
It's-
Part 4.
They did. That's cool when they do that too.
Yeah.
But I think that's part of why the plot is so cut up. But also, apparently, he was just writing it as they went.
It shows.
Makes yeah, for sure. It shows.
It shows, but it works.
It totally
Miracle.
works. This,
Jack-
in any other form, by honestly any other director, I would probably hate it because it makes so little sense. But there's something about the way he directs it and the earnestness of everything. I just really dig it.
Jack and Hunter, do you guys remember seeing the trailer all the time when you were kids? I do.
yeah.
That's where I first saw that. I wouldn't see it until years later, but I remember being creeped out by the trailer.
I don't remember the trailer. I just remember the box in the video store.
I remember the trailer, and I was so psyched to watch it. And when I finally did, I was like, eh.
Maybe once in a while, like at a midnight movie or something like that.
Nobody's mentioned the music yet. It's got a fantastic theme
So I
song.
was going to say next. It's
I thought the music
one of
was
my
great.
favorite theme songs in all
Yeah.
of horror.
Me too.
So good.
And the
Like
song
it-
that Reggie and the other guy sang. Jody.
That's a good song.
That's a good
Yeah,
song.
man.
And the
I got
hat
that on
that-
Spotify.
hat, Jody's hat.
Jody's hat. Why am I?
When they're playing the song, he's wearing like a
Yeah.
Oh,
That it's not a cowboy hat. What is that?
old timey hat.
Yeah.
Old time.
It's just funny. He just pulls up and he grabs his guitar and starts out putting little fills in.
watching this again, I watch it every couple of years because I do love this movie. I was watching it in HD. It's one of the first times, maybe the second time I've seen it in HD. First of all, it looks really good, a lot of the scenes. But when they go into the white room with the barrels and the tuning forks,
I'd love to have
that
one of those
looks
barrels.
so freaking good. Like, so good. And even when he falls through into the other dimension, and
Mhm.
it's like the red world, that looked good too. Like, it's surprising what they pulled off with no money on some of that stuff.
Yeah.
There's a, you know, those guys sometimes there's a couple of YouTube channels where they show film locations of stuff. And there's one guy, I think it was this channel called Grim Collective. I could be wrong, but he goes to the location where they shot that scene that you're talking about, Jason. It still looks like that. It's just all rocks.
The
Rocks.
outdoors, the red world scene.
Yeah, the red world. Yeah,
Holy cow.
Oh,
where
that's
the
cool.
Jawas are like walking in that line or whatever.
I was thinking you were talking about the white room for some reason. I was like, what?
Oh,
Really?
mhm.
The
By the way-
funeral home is in Oakland.
Hmm.
Oh, that's a horror show in itself. Could you imagine, like, you're like talking to everybody to make this movie? So, what's this bad guy doing? Oh, he's taking dead people and squishing them into evil little Jawas so they can be slaves in another dimension.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, all right, we're in.
Yes.
It's
And who's
kooky
the
as
tall
hell.
man? I don't know. What are his powers? Kind of whatever he wants at the moment.
Greg
His
Morgan
fingers
said he's
could
a
turn into
trans-dimensional
giant horse
demon.
flies.
Yeah, they can turn into giant horse flies and he'll have sex with you if you want to go to the cemetery.
Yeah, why? It's funny because he's tricking him at the beginning to get him to the cemetery to kill him and turn him into whatever. But throughout the movie, he'll just drive a car after somebody or send some like
Yeah.
he doesn't need to trick anybody. This man will just go after you and kill you at your house. What's with the deceit at a bar? So the tall man was sitting at a bar drinking beer, hoping somebody would come in at the beginning of this movie.
By the way, that bar has so much character. The outside is just so cool. What was it called?
I don't remember.
Something
Tavern.
canteen or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
something
yeah, yeah.
canteen. I love that.
What a
place.
dive bar. Yeah. So
Yeah,
he's
I
just
like that.
hanging out there at the beginning of the movie. Oh,
Speaking of dive bars, my wife and I went to beautiful Scranton, Pennsylvania this weekend because that's where the office is set. So we wanted to go visit all these. So we went to Poor Richard's Pub. That's a dive bar, and it's connected to a bowling alley, and it was
nice.
awesome. The beer was the coldest beer I think I've ever had on tap. So I'm going to give him credit for that.
Speaking
I
of
love a
cold,
good dive bar.
Yeah.
I love Angus Scrim standing next to Reggie while Reggie's opening up the good humor truck and the fog is coming out.
Yeah, and he smells it,
He's just like,
breathing it.
How cold is that truck, by the way? When he opens that door, the mist that comes out is insane.
Yeah, or
then they
how-
put
how
the dead
hot-
bodies in, and he goes, "I hope it doesn't ruin the
Ruined
ice."
my ice cream. Ugh.
Doesn't Reggie look like the brother-in-law on Breaking Bad as like a young guy?
That, and I think he
Yeah, a
always
little
looked
bit,
like
yeah.
Clint Howard.
Clint Howard. I always thought,
Especially
Clint
with the
Howard,
ice cream
especially with the
truck.
ice cream truck.
They could be brothers.
You mentioned how all these 80s movies, late 70s, early 80s movies, had the trick ending that made no sense. I think this one has the craziest one, though, because at the end, you're just like, literally nothing that you've seen has happened. The brother died in a car accident off screen, and Reggie is now like his surrogate brother / father, and they're
Yeah.
going on a car ride, and you're like, what?
All right, so I got a question about that because then the tall man reappears. So I'm like, wait, so is the Reggie part the fake out? Because like there's tall man.
Dude,
So I
it makes
don't know if the
no
sequels
sense.
does the other brother show up again in the sequels?
I think the tall man was just another dream because he dreamt about the tall man before, where he was looming him over his bed, and then the Jawas came out and were
That was
pulling
a
at the kid
great
while he's
scene.
laying in bed.
That's creepy.
Yeah, so it could have been just another,
If we're gonna do Phantasm 2, I don't want to spoil what they do in the second one because it's freaking genius.
Because I've never seen it.
It's really good the way they do it. But dude, that ending, and then the tall man shows up and it's like everything. I don't know, man. It's so crazy. It perfectly matches the movie though, because you don't know what's real, and even like up until that point when the kid is like running and he falls into this mine, which is just uncovered by the way, and just has like green bed sheets for the sides, and then the brother pushes boulders off a hill. It's like a perfect kid story ending to something you made up in your head. Like
that's true.
Drop the alien down a mine shaft. How'd the brother get boulders off the hill? Like, doesn't matter. It's like
very strong.
It's like a kid's dream, and then the ending is like a kid's nightmare. It's pretty wild.
Huh. The kid is. It's also hilarious how much that kid's like seriously stalks his brother. Like he just follows him everywhere.
Yeah.
With his
I'm gonna watch him give the peen to this chick from a bar.
Watches him get it on with a chick. Watches him at the funeral. Just watches him, tails behind him when he shows up at the bar.
Yeah,
there's a lot that I forget, especially having seen the second one. That was like, all right, there's stuff I remember, but I can't remember if it was from 1 or 2. But one thing that is indelible is the what do you call it? The mortuary, or where all the graves are.
Yeah.
Oh, that building, mausoleum,
I think.
That imagery, and then the ball flying around, like that's, as far as horror icon status, like that's like up there with Freddy's glove. Like that's
for sure.
And like when you think about that movie, like if you go to a real mortuary, or like, and you walk in, the first thing I think of is Phantasm.
Of course, yeah.
Mm-hmm. You look for the ball.
Yeah.
I love how
I always forget how little the ball. I'm sorry, what?
I said I love how the balls have an anus. So the blood can shoot out.
Yeah.
I always forget how little the balls are in the first movie. They're barely in it. It's the sequels when they're around.
Yeah, they play a much bigger role later on, and there's different ones.
Yeah, that was pretty interesting. But
I got more balls to look forward to in the park.
A lot more balls coming at you, man.
Nice.
Anything else you guys want to add before we get out of here?
This is one of those ones that I feel like, if you haven't seen Phantasm, it's like one of the staples that you should, if you're gonna take yourself seriously as a horror fan, you should see at least the first Phantasm.
And if you didn't like it back in the day, give it another shot.
What a turnaround, man. 30 years later, you're like, hey, I kind of like this.
I freaking loved it. That's the crazy. It went from dislike to love. So bizarre.
Wow.
I'll take it.
I'm excited for you to see the other ones. So, do we have any clue what we're doing next week?
Well, do you want to do Significant Other, or do you want to do Phantasm 2?
I'm up for either one.
I say Significant Other deserves a main feature. Like I said.
Yeah, let's do that. Get it some attention.
Yeah. And I want to rewatch it, so that's perfect.
Everyone, do your homework. Watch Significant Other. It's going to be an interesting discussion. And anything else before we get out of here?
No, let's just go. Let's get out of here.
Okay. Bye, everyone.
See you, everybody.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming.
Game over,